For thousands of years, the galaxy spoke about humans like a bedtime story. Some alien historians called them warriors. Others said they were ghosts, a species that vanished before anyone could meet them. Many believed humanity never existed at all. They were only a myth, a legend told around dim starship lights. But everything changed on the night the Kalari Observatory detected a strange signal, deep, heavy, and older than any known technology. The signal repeated only 3 words: "We are returning." Commander Zalen of the Kalari fleet felt his throat tighten. No known empire used that frequency. No known species announced their arrival with such confidence. He ordered long-range scanners to focus on the dark region of space where the signal came from. At first, there was nothing, only empty darkness. Then the darkness moved. A massive shadow slipped out of the void, so big that the Kalari sensors glitched. The crew stared in shock as the shape sharpened. It was a warship, a giant triangular battleship made of dark metal and glowing fire lines, drifting with slow, terrifying pride. Its hull carried scars from ancient wars, yet it looked stronger than any modern ship in the galaxy. Zalen whispered, "Impossible. Humans were only stories." But the ship kept coming. And behind it, more signals activated, hundreds, maybe thousands, each one echoing the same message: "We are returning." The Kalari fleet moved into defensive formation, but every officer felt the same cold fear. This was not a myth. This was not a story. Humanity was real, and their warships had arrived in fire and steel. The galaxy, for the first time in ages, understood something terrible. Legends don't return peacefully. The Kalari fleet watched the enormous human warship drift closer, its metal surface glowing like burning coal. No one dared fire. No one dared speak loudly. It felt like the ship could hear them breathe. Commander Zalen ordered every sensor to full power. The results were impossible. The warship's armor was denser than any known material. Its energy core was unlike anything recorded. It carried weapons strong enough to shatter moons. And yet, it wasn't aiming at them. It simply observed. A cold voice suddenly echoed through every Kalari ship. "This is humanity's vanguard. Identify yourselves." The voice was calm, steady, and terrifying. It felt old, older than any empire still alive. Zalen stepped forward. "This is the Kalari exploration fleet. We believed humans were legends." There was a long silence. Then the voice replied, "Legends survive because others forget why they feared them." The Kalari crew froze. Those words were not friendly. They were a warning. Before Zalen could respond, a second shock struck the fleet. Space behind the human battleship rippled, then tore open. Dozens of ships emerged, each one different in size, but carrying the same deadly design. Their golden red engines burned brighter than the stars. "A full war armada," Zalen whispered. "Why have you returned?" The vanguard ship slowly rotated its battlefield cannons toward the empty void, not the Kalari. "We return only when the galaxy repeats old mistakes." "What mistakes?" Zalen asked. The human voice grew darker. "The hunt has begun again, and we do not allow our kind to be hunted." Zalen's heart stopped. "Your kind?" "Humans?" he asked. "No," the voice answered. "The innocent." Before the Kalari could understand the meaning, all human ships activated their weapons. But none were aimed at them. Something far worse was coming. Every Kalari ship shook as a massive distortion appeared in the void. It was not a normal warp opening. It was violent, tearing space like a wounded creature. Red lightning cracked across the stars as something began forcing its way through. Commander Zalen gripped the rail. "What is that?" The human vanguard answered before their scanners could. "The ones who destroyed our worlds. The ones who tried to erase us. They have returned." A monstrous vessel pushed through the rift. It was nothing like the human ships. No clean edges, no organized metal plates. Its hull looked alive and rotten, shaped by twisted bone-like structures and glowing sickly green veins. More ships followed, each one more corrupted than the last. Zalen whispered, "I've never seen the species." "You never will," the human voice said coldly. "They do not leave survivors." The corrupted fleet spread out like a swarm, scanning for targets. When their sensors detected the Kalari ships, they prepared to strike. Zaylan panicked. We are not part of this war. Why are they targeting us? Because they see weakness, the Vanguard replied, and they feed on it. Before the Kalari could respond, the first enemy blast shot toward them, a beam of green fire that could melt a cruiser instantly, but it never reached them. A human warship moved faster than thought, intercepting the blast with its massive armored hull. The explosion lit up space, but the human ship stayed intact. Zaylan stared in disbelief. They had taken a hit for him. Why protect us? He asked. For one reason, the human voice answered. The forward cannons of the Vanguard glowed bright red, ready to fire, because the galaxy will not survive this enemy without us. And then the first human salvo launched, fire and steel roaring across the stars. The first human salvo struck the enemy fleet with terrifying force. Red beams cut to the void like burning spears, tearing apart two corrupted ships instantly. Explosions rolled across the battlefield, shaking even the Kalari vessels watching from afar. Commander Zaylan had seen many battles, but never anything like this. Human warships did not fight, they hunted. Every shot was precise. Every movement was deadly. They fought with the confidence of a species that had survived the impossible. The corrupted fleet roared in answer, launching a storm of green energy. Space lit up as beams crossed in every direction. Several blasts hit a human cruiser, but instead of breaking apart, the ship pushed forward, armor glowing but undamaged. What kind of metal is that? A Kalari officer whispered. No known kind, Zaylan replied. Humans built something the galaxy has never seen. The enemy changed tactics. Smaller, bone-like fighters swarmed toward the humans, spinning and screeching as if alive. They attacked from all sides, firing rapid bursts of green plasma. The humans responded instantly. Dozens of drone-like spheres launched from their warships, forming a glowing red shield net. The drones spun, linking their energy fields together until they became a moving barrier. Enemy fire splashed harmlessly against it. Zaylan stared. They predicted the attack before it happened. They always do, the Vanguard said. Humans learn faster than any species alive. But the battle was far from over. A gigantic corrupted mothership emerged from the rift, far larger than the rest, pulsing with toxic energy. Its presence alone made Kalari sensors scream with warnings. The Vanguard's voice dropped low. That is their leader. If it survives, the galaxy falls. Zaylan felt a chill, and then he heard something even more terrifying. The humans were preparing a weapon he had never seen before. The battlefield fell into a strange, heavy silence as the human armada changed formation. Their ships moved with perfect coordination, creating a massive ring around a corrupted mothership. Red engine trails cut bright lines across the darkness, forming a pattern no Kalari officer recognized. Commander Zaylan felt his pulse rise. What are they preparing? The Vanguard answered with a tone that felt ancient. A weapon we promised never to use again. Those words sent chills through every Kalari ship. If humans, who survived the darkest wars, fear their own weapon, then its power must be unimaginable. The corrupted mothership opened its bone-like jaws, revealing a glowing core that pulsed like a dying star. Green lightning burst outward, tearing apart two smaller human frigates. The shockwave rattled the entire battlefield. Zaylan shouted, "Your ships are falling. Use shields." "We are not shielding," the Vanguard replied. "We are focusing." The human ship's hulls began glowing with deep crimson lines, ancient runes of war, pulsing like veins. The energy gathered at their front cannons, merging into a swirling sphere of fire and steel. Zaylan stared. That is not normal plasma. What is that? It is not plasma, the Vanguard said quietly. It is humanity's last answer. The sphere expanded, growing brighter until it was painful to look at. Even the corrupted mothership paused, as if its twisted mind sensed something it could not understand. This weapon, the Vanguard continued, was used only once during the First Extinction War. It cost us nearly everything. Zaylan realized a horrifying truth. If you fire it, your own ships might break. Perhaps, the Vanguard said, But if we do nothing, everyone dies. The corrupted mothership gathered energy for a final, galaxy-killing blast. The human warships aimed as one, and the forbidden weapon reached full power. The battlefield froze in a moment of impossible silence. The corrupted mothership gathered its final blast, a green sun forming in its jaws. Any normal fleet would have fled, but the humans did not move. Their ships held formation, glowing brighter and brighter, until they looked like burning stars. Commander Zaylen could barely speak. If they fire, they will destroy themselves. The Vanguard answered calmly. Legends are not remembered for surviving. They are remembered for protecting others. The forbidden human weapon pulsed once, then exploded forward in a beam of red-white fire. It was not just energy. It was force, memory, and fury forged into a single blast. Space itself bent around the beam as it slammed into the corrupted mothership. The monster screamed. Its bone armor shattered. Its green core cracked like glass. Thousands of corrupted tendrils vaporized instantly. The shockwaves spread across the battlefield, wiping out every smaller infected ship in a single blinding flash. Zaylen shielded his eyes. Incredible, they destroyed everything. But the victory came with a price. The human warships began breaking apart, their crimson runes fading. Armor plates fell away. Engines dimmed. The forbidden weapon drained more power than any ship could survive. Zaylen whispered, "No, they can't fall now. Humans cannot vanish again." The Vanguard's voice returned, but softer, almost human. "We are not vanishing. We are rebuilding." A hidden fleet uncloaked behind them, hundreds of untouched human ships, shining with new designs. They had never been part of the battle. The damaged Vanguard lowered its cannons. We needed the galaxy to see who we truly are, not myths, not ghosts. Zaylen asked, "Then what are you?" The stars reflected off the surviving human ships as the answer came. "We are humanity, and we rise when the galaxy needs us most." The legend was real, and it had only just begun.